Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to whatsuptns. I am Zach, and
I'm Heather.
And today it's just going to be the two of us. We're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about?
The Walking Dead. Yes, one of my favorite subjects.
And we're going to talk about The Walking Dead. The season finale
was this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you stop listening now, because that is what we're going to be talking about. Our thoughts, opinions on the matter. And we may do a little recap of this season too. So
this is what, season 6?
This is season 6, yes.
So if you haven't watched season 6, if you haven't watched any of the other seasons, we may touch on that. Just giving you fair warning that this is going to be spoilers. We're not going to say spoilers anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I might one more time. Spoiler!
Okay, so spoilers. Let's get into it. I mean, wow, where do you want to start? I mean, season 6. Okay, let's start. Season 6.
Okay.
Has been very, very good.
It has been, to me, the best season of the show. It's been going on 6 years, 6 seasons. This season, I mean, every show was... Even there was one that wasn't up to speed and it had us on edge, but it still kept us intrigued. It still kept us going, whoa, what happened? You know, every show was great. Yeah. Every episode in this season was great. You know, from the time they were walking hundreds of walkers, you know, back away from Alexandria. They're trying to walk, you know, get them away from there to the season finale. Yeah. And it was amazing to me.
That was at the beginning of this season when they were in the trench. Really? Because it seems like so long ago, because that was part A of this season.
That's right.
So it seems like so long ago, but that was this season, wasn't it?
It was this season. I believe it was episode 1 of this season.
Because part A ended with the zombies going... Well, I'm sorry, walkers going into Alexandria, right?
Yeah. No, the... mid-season finale, I do believe, ended with the walkers coming into Alexandria and shitting on everybody's parade.
So the governor, technically Lady of Alexandria, she died in part A of season 6, right?
Yeah, it didn't show her dying. But yes, you knew she got bit. You knew she was gone.
Because, I mean, you saw her later on.
You saw her in the mid-season premiere. I believe we saw her walking through the woods, and it took Carl. Carl couldn't kill her. I mean, she was part of their group. He could not do it.
Yeah, because he led her back to her son, because because her son kept going out.
Looking for her, because he's never killed. He didn't... You know, he's been sheltered, as with all the other Alexandrians. They never had a reason to kill. They didn't know how to. They had to be trained. So he felt he needed to do this. It was his mother. Yeah. It was a really good moment. I believe that was a good moment.
Yeah, it speaks a lot, you know, it speaks a lot for him, I guess, you know, because, I mean, he knew it's something that he had to deal with himself to make him accept everything that's going on.
Right, that was kind of closure.
And it's good for Carl because he understood what that guy was going through, and he kind of understood, like, look, I know this guy's been going out to do that, and it would not be right for anybody else to, you know, to do this but him. You know, it probably would have made things worse if he wasn't the one that got to, you know, take care of her.
And, you know, we've seen all these characters come so far in a short amount of time. I mean, you know, in the Walking Dead world, they've only been there post-apocalyptically for about 2.5 years. is what I'm being told.
Sources say.
Sources say. And, but over these 6 years, you've seen the same characters, and they have changed, and some for better, some crazier. Rick Grimes.
Yeah,
But, you went full Shane.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
but what would you do in his situation you gotta almost be where he is.
Well, and if you look at it, because we'll go ahead and say that Rick is pretty much how Shane was
in the end.
But see, nobody really liked the way Shane was.
Right.
And Rick didn't like it. Mm-hmm. But now, we're all accepting some of the things Rick's doing because we've seen the journey that he's taken and got there.
Right.
Where, Shane was already there.
Right.
But we didn't really understand, and some of the things that Rick's doing are like what Shane was doing. And we completely understand it. So Shane wasn't in the wrong to begin with.
But none of us understood it. We all thought he was just a dick. We didn't understand his motives, what he was doing, why he did the things he did.
Yeah.
We didn't understand. Now that we see Rick and how he does things, it's like, well, that's a Shane move.
It's basically been a journey for us just as much as it has Rick. Yeah. Because now you accept the bad things because, it's live or die.
Right. It's survival of the fittest. You either live or you die. There's no, but you survive. You survive. That's what you do. We've seen some major characters. They have been on the show. They are no longer on the show, and one of the major, and it didn't really hit me hard. It was just like, whoa, one of the major deaths this season for me was Jessie and her sons.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one kid, but he's a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't that the mid-season premiere?
That was the mid-season premiere, yes.
Man.
It came back with a vengeance.
Talking about coming with a bang. It was...
It was incredible. I was like, oh my God. I think I woke up our son because I was so floored by this episode. I was like, holy hell.
Well, it set the tone for the way all the whole second half of the season was going to be. It's just like,
but the whole
brutal
season's been like
crazy.
That. The whole season has left us on our seats, on the edge of our seats.
On our seats? I'm on my seat right now.
This whole season has left us on the edge of our seats. Our hearts racing, wondering what's going to happen next Sunday. We were excited through this whole season. Now, season finale left a lot of fans very pissed off. Okay.
We're going to jump in the finale part right now. You want to jump into that right now? You want to do a little bit leading up to it?
We can do a little bit leading up to it, but I will say the season finale left a lot of people pissed off. Now, let's talk about what happened before. We were talking about Rick Grimes.
I'm just going to go and say that I like Crazy Rick Grimes.
Crazy Rick Grimes is, but we seen a man who has come so far, he is so confident. He went into Alexandria. He has I'm not going to say taken over.
He didn't take over.
He built it. Yeah, he rebuilt it.
He helped, well, him and it's not just him. No, it's his group.
The group, but
they basically, told these people that, everybody who was in Alexandria they didn't know anything.
They didn't know shit. They didn't know how to use a gun. They didn't know, they never felt like they had to.
I mean, it's amazing that they survived as long as they did.
Right.
It's like it all happened and they never really got to experience much of it.
Right.
So, but his group came in and let them know how the world was and taught them how to take care of themselves.
It was a wake-up call, and in the worst, I'm not going to say the worst way, but it had to happen. Walkers came in. They saw, the people of Alexandria saw what could happen, and how defenseless they actually are, because they're not prepared for it. Rick showed him, hey, Walker got in. Nobody was watching the gate. It was left open. There you go.
Who was it that left the gate open? I can't remember.
Father Gabriel, because he was going through that crazy...
So it was Rick's group that screwed everybody.
Right. Well,
Father Gabriel's trying to redeem himself.
He is. At first I was like, I really don't know about this guy. I really don't. Then he proved to me, you know what? I really don't like this guy. Then, now I'm like, I still don't like him, but it seems to me he is trying.
Yeah, and Rick's trusting him enough to take care of things while he's gone.
If crazy Rick is trusting him, that you gotta be doing something.
You gotta do something right.
Yeah, you gotta be doing something. On that note, we've seen Rick do a lot of things. Building up. We've seen his changes. We have seen him, come into Alexandria, rebuild Alexandria as in defense. And
they have to know how to take care of themselves.
They have to know. Going out and search for stuff.
Yeah.
They have to know.
Which they had a few of them people. But...
Right. They're planting, they're growing, they've made kind of friends with Hilltop, maybe? Kind of. We don't know much about Hilltop yet. We know there's Jesus. And
Jesus is cool and elusive, and I can see why they call him Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
We still don't know much about him. We haven't seen much of him this season. I feel like we'll see a lot more of him next season.
I don't read the comic book, but I know certain things of the comic book. But from the show, it kind of seems to me like, yes, Hilltop has a governor type person.
Yeah.
Whatever, but it kind of seems to me like Jesus pretty much kind of tells the guy what to do.
It's almost like his conscience, almost.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he's running things from the outside, because whenever the group went in there, and Maggie tried to talk to the guy, and he was a dick, and then, they talked to Jesus, and Jesus was like, don't worry, I'll talk to him, and I'll get the deal made. And it kind of seems like It kind of runs the place a little bit.
Yeah, he used his Jedi mind power over the governor guy. Which I'm not sure of him either. But then again, we've only seen him in one episode, so we don't know. We don't know much about this community.
Yeah, but...
We don't know.
But
it's very small, we do know that, as far as we know.
And primitive, because they don't really have weapons. They just have primitive
necessity.
Weapons.
They have food. They have animals. They have this. They have that. Stuff to survive.
But also, they don't have guns and weaponry. They just have their primitive weapons, but they're pretty much owned or whatever, so to say, by the saviors. So they're protected, but for a price.
Yeah.
And then when Rick's group makes the deal to go in and take care of the saviors, they got into a world of shit that they did not know existed.
Because Rick got in over his head. Now, I will say, like I keep saying, we've seen him grow. We've seen him do so many things. Here's one thing we have not seen. I don't think I have seen it in The Walking Dead yet until now. We have seen a man who came in confident. He knew he could take on anybody. His group's just that good. They've taken out and they've dealt with hundreds, if not thousands, of walkers. They've dealt with enemy. They've dealt with the governor. They've dealt with, baddies.
Mm-hmm. They have dealt...
He came in confident. I have never seen him broken down.
Oh, boy, he got broke down hard.
And when I saw that, I was like, I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you've seen something you've never seen before, and he knew it.
Oh, he did. We'll get to that in 1 second. Let's hit these other deaths.
Okay.
Right quick. So, the next one that comes to mind is, what was the doctor? The doctor lady. Denise. Yeah.
Oh, man.
She went out on a run with who was it?
With Daryl.
It was Daryl
and Rosita.
Yeah, Daryl and Rosita.
Mm-hmm.
She went out on the run with them, and she wanted to face her deals and go out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever she was giving them a lecture on the small things, which her lecture was good.
Yeah.
But
it was legit. Now, I do believe there's a meaning behind her twin brother that she mentioned. I firmly believe there is a meaning behind that, because Daryl can't let that go.
Yeah.
There's a reason he keeps going back out, holding that name tag. Now, I don't know if it's because he felt a connection with Denise. I don't know if he felt like maybe he owed her something, or he said something that struck him. Maybe it's just because she has a brother and he had a brother. I don't know. There's a reason.
How did she lose her brother? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't remember if she said they just split up. I don't think she said he died. I don't think so. I could be wrong, though. Don't quote me on it. But there's a reason he keeps going back out there. It's affected him in some way.
I think what's really affecting him also is the fact that the people that stole his motorcycle and he knew that he should have killed them and he didn't. I think that is weighing on him a lot too.
Yeah. I think he felt like he got too soft, because when he first came to Alexandria, he was like, no, I want to make a home here.
Yeah.
This is a good place, good people.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make this work.
Let his guard down,
I think he let his guard down, and he got, quote unquote, too soft. And that's eating at him. But
not everybody can be Morgan.
Not everybody can be Glenn.
Not everybody can be Glenn.
Not everybody can be Glenn. I can't imagine being in a post-apocalyptic world where it's survival of the fittest, and you don't know who's good, who's bad, who's trustworthy. How do you know this person ain't playing you? How do you know this person over here is not going to kill you?
Yeah.
You don't know. You just go. You do what you got to do. You see it. You see it on these people's faces. You see it with each new person they meet.
Mm-hmm.
You feel their emotion and what they go through.
Oh yeah,
and
you
that,
can definitely feel what they're going through. And that's one thing that I really like about this show, is that it's so human. Like the directors do a good job at having you feeling the emotions that are happening.
Oh yeah.
And you're going through this journey just like the characters are.
Yeah.
Everything they're feeling, you're feeling too, because you build such a bond with these characters, and it's like nothing I've ever watched before. I've never been so interested in a show.
Yeah.
That it's just, it takes you on a ride.
It takes you on a journey, and I try to watch shows here and there and try to get into shows. This is one show that we have watched since day one.
Religiously.
We watch it religiously.
You have to watch it when it airs.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're gonna get spoiled. On what happens.
Yeah.
It is that big. And
it's huge. It's huge.
The hype train's gonna die eventually, but right now, I mean, it's such a huge thing.
If they keep writing the way they do, if Kirkman and Gimple keep doing what they're doing, which it seems like they will not stop anytime soon, this show's just gonna go on and it's gonna do the same thing it's doing right now, which is people are still talking about it a week later after. They're going to talk about it until October, which is when season 7 is going to start.
Yep. Okay, so now let's hit this last thing before we go to the finale. Whenever Rick and his ragtag group of elite folks go into this Savior's base and just completely murder everybody. How did you feel about that? Like, me personally, I'm like, that's so out of character for them. Yeah. They don't go and murder people, or they don't go out and kill people.
Look for trouble.
Without being pushed. Without them. Reason. Yeah, without them actually being...
Provoked.
Yeah, provoked. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, which, it was going to get to them sooner or later, the Saviors. I mean, they were basically knocking on their door. They were practically there. But now they're paying the price for it.
Yes. With them, one thing that really... I agree with you. I was blown away at the fact that they're just going in there and killing all these people. No, they're not good people.
No.
But it's out of character for Rick and his gang, and it personally weighed heavy on me to see Glenn do that.
Yeah.
Glenn has never killed a live human being.
Yeah, but...
He has never killed a person.
Yeah.
And you could see that.
And also it speaks to Glenn as... you can tell everything's starting to weigh on Glenn, what with Maggie being pregnant.
I mean, so
and
much
all
has
of this
happened
stuff
with
is
Glenn.
going on. And that guy shot himself right in front of Glenn.
In his face, yeah.
And everything's getting to Glenn, but then also he sees himself in that other guy. I can't remember his name, the guy with the dreads that went in there with him.
Yeah.
And Glenn actually took over, I think Glenn sees himself in him.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm getting to the point where I'm too far gone. You don't need to be sullied with what's going on right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Right.
So he basically took his burden.
Right.
And took care of it, because I don't even think that guy killed anybody until they started getting attacked.
Right. And then they both had to.
Then they both had to. But still, then at that point, technically, Rick's gang provoked it, but then they're getting shot at, so it kind of weighs out there. But still, so Glenn took his burden.
Yeah, and that was hard to see. It was hard to watch because Glenn is like a cat with 9 lives. I've never seen, and he should be played out soon. His luck is running.
Yeah, speaking of his 9 lives, his luck may have ran out
with the season finale.
The season finale. The season finale.
Okay.
To me, it was slow. Mm-hmm. All the way up until the last 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Which is how the beginning seasons used to be.
Yeah. And, which it basically built up all of this tension just for you to be left Soprano style.
Right.
Which, by the way, I called
You did.
Before
props to you.
Before it aired, I was like, we're gonna see Negan and he's gonna go through a spill and we're not gonna see who he killed. Granted, y'all just have to take my word on it because I'll just say that I did say that before it aired.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure a bunch of people after they saw it said that they called it. But anyway, but yeah, so it's all building this tension. They go to take Maggie because Maggie had, she's having problems.
She's having problems. We don't know what yet.
Yeah, so they're going to Hilltop to the doctor at Hilltop to see what's wrong with her. On their way, they keep getting stopped by the Saviors. Because the Saviors basically own everything. Yeah,
it's like it's a cat and mouse game is what it is, and they know it, and they know they're getting trapped. The group does.
Yeah.
Their group.
Bitch nuts.
Bitch nuts. The Saviors group with each stop in the road, if you notice, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it scared me. You know what I'm saying? Like it made me go, oh shit! It made me go bitch nuts. Right along with nuts. Abraham. I was like, oh
Abraham
God.
and his words
and his his vocabulary.
I love it.
Yeah. 90 minutes. I firmly believe 90 minutes was way too long for this episode. I believe everything could have happened in 1 hour. However, this was exceptional story writing. It was, to me. Yeah. They wrote this. They knew what they were doing, and every fan, I don't care who you are, felt the exact same emotions they wanted you to feel. They knew you would feel them.
Oh, yeah.
And every one of us viewers felt that emotion at that time.
Yeah.
Now, let me say one thing. For those fans who are very angry at the ending, I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be because there's a lot of people saying, I'm never watching another episode. This was so stupid. This and that. I've seen all the horrible comments and horrible writers, and you know what? Fuck that. If you're a fan, I'll see you in October. That's what I'm telling you. You're going to be back because you're gonna want to know. My opinion, I do think it's Glenn. I think it's Glenn. I have no doubt. At first I was thinking Daryl, just because of he's coming out with a new show. He's got other things going on. He's been in a couple of movies, However.
Well, Maggie was in another movie. She was in a
movie
not too long ago. Oh, yeah, he was.
Spoiler alert!
But, he wasn't really really in the show till the last 15 minutes.
Right. People don't need to be mad. They, I get it. You're left on a cliffhanger. Cliffhangers have been going on forever.
Who's
guys.
Not left on the cliffhanger?
I mean, there's been cliffhangers on freaking Star Trek: The Next Generation. I mean, there were cliffhangers there. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I'm going, and people weren't getting all up in arms like we are. People have the internet, and that's one problem with it is, everybody just gets so mad at nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
but people, I think Scott Gimple, I think Robert Kirkman did phenomenal at this episode. Granted, I do think it was a little drawn out. It played out perfectly.
Yeah.
I think you've seen every character in a moment we've never seen them in.
Yeah.
We've seen them broken down. They knew they were up shit creek without a paddle.
Oh, they knew. They knew 100%.
And it was hard to see that because they're our guys.
Yeah.
That's our people.
Yeah. And I mean, whenever they take them all and bring them up to the trailer and have them all kneel down, the look on Rick's face is just like...
It's haunting almost.
I have not seen Rick look like that in a long time.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, the last time I've seen him look that bad was back at the prison.
Yeah.
When they first got there, and Lori kept haunting his ass. That's when when he was going just over the edge.
Just before he got Shane.
Just before he went Shane. Yeah, that's the last time I really seen him, and he didn't even look that bad. This is, I got overconfident. Yeah. I knew I could handle this. I have failed my group. I have failed everybody.
Yeah,
somebody's about to die.
He was backed into a corner, and he knew it.
He knew it.
He could not do anything about it because all of his people, all of his strongest people, were there.
And he,
in the same boat.
In the same boat, Michonne, who is now one of his highest priorities, is there. Mm-hmm. His brother Daryl, his right hand man, is there, and he's shot, and we don't know if he's gonna live because he looks like shit too. Mm-hmm. All of these people are there. His son's there.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he knows Maggie's in trouble. Maggie needs medical attention. We don't know what the hell's going on with Maggie. We have an idea, but we don't know.
Yeah.
And you see this man with the most intimidating weapon you've ever seen. You think any gun they've ever had is scary? No.
Just
Lucille.
Lucille. Whenever they showed Lucille and they zoomed in on it, and it's this pristine bat with barbed wire wrapped around it. It's all glorified and horrifying.
It was... I was scared sitting at home. I was going, oh my God, somebody's about to be bludgeoned to death. We know that's coming. If you're a fan, if you've read the comics, you don't even have to read the comics. You know what's coming. You just know.
Yeah. Somebody's going to get their head bashed in.
Somebody's about to get it. And it ain't going to be good.
Yeah. Well, actually, somebody did get it. But we don't know who it is.
That's
allegedly.
Allegedly. And that's why people are mad. However, I did find out something pretty cool.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
Did you notice at the beginning of the episode, and actually with it was about 3 or 4 times throughout the episode, they had a point of view from the van where Daryl, Glenn, Michonne, and Rosita were kept. It was blurry. You saw lights, and it looked like it was just real blurry.
Oh, yeah.
That opened like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was like, what the hell is this?
Right,
and then
what is that?
At probably about the second or third time, I was like, I bet that's where Daryl's at.
Right.
Because
I thought it was Daryl.
Yeah, because you see a little bit of light, and you can hear muffled things going on in the back. Yeah.
I think whoever met the really bad end of Lucille, that's their point of vision.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think that was the message. I think that was the clue of it ended with a point of view. It started with a point of view.
Yeah, but I mean, whenever they pulled Daryl and them out of the van, didn't it go to that point of view and then the van opened?
It went to that point of view, the van opened, but you don't know who, because they started just pulling people out. You don't know who it is.
Well, it was Daryl and them, right?
It was Daryl and them, but you don't know whose point of view it was. Oh. So, my money's on Glenn. I think this time, they're known for doing stuff from the comics. However, they're known for using other characters for doing stuff from the comics. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe they're going to go against everything they've done this whole show, all 6 years, and actually do something
and actually
from
kill Glenn.
The comics because, yes.
Yeah.
I think they will kill Glenn.
Well, I'll just say, if they ended up killing Daryl, I think that would kind of be an easy way out for them to keep their core group together. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, granted, in the show, Daryl is part of their core group, technically. Right. But comic-wise, he's not in there. Right, so it would be a way for them to keep that group of people together, so to say.
Right.
And kill off somebody who wasn't part of it.
Right.
But, I mean, which at this point, it doesn't matter. That's the group. You know, so, but I don't think it's going to be Daryl. At one point, I said, what if it's Maggie? instead of Glenn. But seeing Maggie in the condition that they're in, I think that's going to create a whole lot of drama later. So I don't think they'll kill her off.
Right.
I
don't think it'll be a female.
But which if they did kill Maggie off, and Glenn doesn't know what was wrong with her before, I mean that would just Glenn's character could go down a completely dark path that we hadn't.
He could turn into crazy Glenn. There'll be crazy Rick Grimes. There'll be crazy Glenn.
Yeah, crazy Rick and crazy Glenn.
Yeah, but I don't think, in my opinion, I do not believe it'll be a female. I think killing Rosita, I think it'll affect Abraham, but I do not believe it. That won't prove anything. That won't do anything. That won't make or break the group. Yeah, it'll hurt, but I don't think that has any. That won't make a huge impact.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It
wouldn't be as big an impact as if they killed Glenn, Rick, or Carl.
Oh yeah.
If they killed one of those three, or Michonne, but I mean,
I don't.
Glenn, Rick, and Carl have been together the longest, right?
Since.
So one of them are gonna die.
Right.
Because it would not be as hard of a hit if they killed off any of the other characters. It still would be. It would suck. But because when Negan was introduced in the comic book, he killed off Glenn. I mean, it pretty much changed a lot with the comic book because of that.
Right.
So they're going to do something in the same vein.
Right.
And...
yeah, and we know, well, okay, I'm not going to say we know.
Yeah.
But we have a pretty good idea that it's not Rick or Carl because he clearly states, if anything happens, tear the boy's other eye out, feed it to his father. So we know, okay, and he looked this way, so they're over there.
Yeah.
And he's here.
Well, technically, it was shot from different perspectives to where you don't really know where he's standing.
Right, we don't, but just going by what he said, I think that was one of our biggest clues. Okay, maybe Rick and Carl are safe.
Okay,
so let's take them off the chopping block.
I see that.
I'm taking Maggie off the chopping block. I'm taking all the women off the chopping block. I do not believe it'll be female. Now, one of my friends believes it's Eugene, which Eugene has
a big plan for the thing.
But he gave it all to Rick.
He did.
Now, I believe that could be right. That was a big clue. Okay, Eugene redeemed himself. He drove the RV. Yes.
And got caught immediately.
Hey, you know what? But he did awesome.
He's like, yes, I'm going to do this. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's like, no, okay. He's like, but he redeemed himself. He stepped up to the plate. He said, here's all my plans. Make it happen. I'm going to take this RV this way and try to fool these guys.
Yeah, they wasn't having it.
No, but he tried.
Yeah.
And for that, that's wow, on his part.
Yeah.
So, I could see Eugene. I don't believe it's Eugene. I believe it's Glenn.
Eugene wouldn't be that hard of a hit. For
the group because he's done given. I think he's done giving Rick all of his plans. Mm-hmm. So,
but also the writers are going to do something that is going to make the fans be like, "What the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
If you kill Eugene, it's going to be like, okay, well, he was the awkwardish guy.
Yeah. If you kill anybody else besides Glenn or Daryl, the people are going to be like, really? We waited 7 months for this?
So
if you kill Glenn or Daryl, they're going to be like, what the fuck? You killed Glenn and Daryl?
And that's exactly what they want.
So,
they want something like that.
Fans are not going to be, they're going to be shocked either way.
Yeah. So, so it's going to be probably one of them.
I firmly believe it's Glenn. I think his luck has ran out. I do believe that.
He spent his ninth life.
He over 11th, 12th, I think people
Cats only have 9 though.
People he's super cat. I think people got so distraught over Glenn's fake dumpster death, because that was that was earlier season 6. We had to wait 3 episodes before we found out if he was dead or not. I think people were so distraught over that.
Yeah.
That when they find out if it is Glenn, they're gonna just be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. So see, they're giving everybody several months to gather themselves for Glenn's death.
For Glenn's death, if it is in fact Glenn's death.
If it is in fact Glenn.
I personally, that is my opinion.
Yeah.
Others may think differently, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I personally think it is somebody from that van. There are 2 women in that van. I'm ruling out women. It's either Glenn or Daryl, and I don't believe it's Daryl. I think they will nurse Daryl back to health. He's lost a lot of blood. You can see that he's pale.
Yeah. He's
been shot. But he's surviving, but he looks like death.
Boondock style.
Boondock style, yeah. I think they will get him and Maggie to Hilltop. They'll nurse him back to health. They'll be fine. I think it's Glenn.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan did an amazing job as Negan. He's the only person that I know of that can play such a dick, but you love him.
He is the biggest. He can play the biggest asshole.
He can,
and it's so good.
It's so good. It's like, wow. You want to hate him, and you do, but you don't hate him at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, he did a great job. The introduction of Negan. And he pretty much laid out everything and went on this big long spiel and got down to business. And boy, did he get down to business.
He did. He laid it out and he said, guess what? Y'all work for me.
Yeah, y'all work for me.
Guess what? It wasn't cool y'all to kill my people, so I'm killing one of y'all's.
Yeah, but I'm not going to kill all of you because I need you.
Because I need you. I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah.
So oh man, it's gonna be an intense 6 months up until October. It's going to be intense. We're still gonna be talking about this up until October. The fans that are pissed off is gonna be still talking about this until October, and they're gonna be wanting answers.
And they're gonna watch.
And guess what? Those pissed off people are gonna be the ones that are online trying to dig deep for answers. We're gonna be trying to dig deep.
Yeah.
And trying to spoil things and trying to get it out on the internet.
Yeah.
See you in October.
Yeah. See you in October.
See you in October, and then you'll be complaining about something else.
Yeah. So with that, that's our thoughts on this whole Walking Dead thing and the season finale hubbub. I mean, it's not really hubbub. I mean, it's everybody's talking about it, and that's exactly what the writers and AMC want you to do. So
yeah,
props to them. I think they did good.
And we are. I'm still talking about it. I have people talking about it that don't even watch the show. There's people. Yes. It's a thing. I have them talking about it.
I run into a few of them people.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about it.
Yeah, no.
But your people do.
My people do. Because, I mean, why not? It's The Walking Dead. It's great.
Why not?
On that note, I'm leaving that there. Y'all leave feedback. Leave feedback for us. Let us know what you think. Let us know your opinions.
Or let us know what you don't think.
Or let us know what you don't think. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you feel.
Yeah.
Let us know.
We'll probably get a lot of thumbs downs for saying they did a good job.
That's okay. See you haters in October.
All right, everybody. Well, that concludes our Walking Dead episode. Like she said, leave your feedback, and you can follow us on Twitter, whatsuptns, and I'll put a link to it in the comments or description area here. If you're watching the little video, it'll pop up. So let us know what you think. Follow us, and we'll see you back in next week maybe.
Next week we'll see. We'll see. Same time, same place.
Same time, same place. We don't really have a set time and place.
No, it's just when we post it.
All right. See y'all later.
Later, guys.